everyone. So with it being school time and students returning to university or college within the next couple of weeks, I know there are a lot of people who are looking to maybe spice up their dorm room or add a little bit of more creative inspiration to it. So I thought this week we could do 3 really easy DIYs that are super cheap. All of the materials that I used in these DIYs I found at the dollar store, or at least for under $1. I know there are places all over the place, or all over other than the US, that have like some sort of dollar store equivalent, like Poundland or whatever it is where you are. So hopefully you find these DIYs super easy, super cheap, and you enjoy them. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. So for this first craft, I'm using an 8.5 by 11 gold picture frame from the dollar store and an 8.5 by 11 sheet of black construction paper, as well as colored foil paper sized at 8.5 by 11 as well. I started by picking an Aquarius constellation from Google and importing the image into a Word document so I knew it would fit nicely onto the proper sized sheet. You can use whatever constellation you'd like. From there, I used a pen to poke holes through each of the points so I can use the sheet as a stencil for my construction paper. After marking all of my points, I poked holes through the black construction paper on each of those marked points, and lastly, I just laid my black sheet face down into the frame and laid a gold sheet of foil paper behind it so the gold would show through each of the holes, and you're done. For the second DIY, I used an 8.5 by 11 piece of white cardstock, some black thread, and a needle, as well as a pin. I started by opening a new Word document and typing out the ampersand symbol. Then I bumped up the font size so that it filled the entire page, and then adjusted the type so that it was only an outline and not completely black. I then printed the sheet out and proceeded to cut out the symbol to use as a stencil. Once cut out, I lightly traced the symbol onto my cardstock, and next I threaded my needle with black string. I started off with about a yard of string doubled over and secured it with a knot at the end. To begin threading the symbol, I started by poking a hole with a pin first. This way I knew where to thread my needle because we were going to want to start from behind. Once you thread your needle through, make sure you make your next point anywhere along the line that you traced. Continue threading in and out until the entire symbol is complete. Once the entire thing is covered in thread, secure it with a knot on the back side of the page, and that's it. The last DIY is super easy. All you need is a 4x6 piece of white cardstock, some gold foil paper, and some black construction paper. I started by cutting a gold piece of 4x6 foil paper diagonally and then glued down one of the pieces to fit into the corner of the cardstock. Then I used the other gold piece to trace out a piece of black construction paper and then cut off another 3/4 of an inch off the edge. Lastly, I glued down that piece to fit on the opposite corner of the cardstock, and that's it. Hope you enjoyed all these DIYs and found them pretty easy to follow. They were all really cheap, and I found all the materials for just under $1. I will leave a list of all the materials I used in each of the DIYs in the description below. Thanks for watching and happy crafting!